The Jagdpanther was a tank destroyer built by Nazi Germany during World War II based on the chassis of the Panther tank. It entered service late in the war and saw service on the Eastern and Western fronts. The Jagdpanther combined the very powerful 8.8 cm PaK-43 cannon of the Tiger II and the characteristically excellent armor and suspension of the Panther chassis, although it suffered from the general poor state of German ordnance production, maintenance and training in the later part of the war, which resulted in small production numbers, shortage in spare parts and poor crew readiness. Development: the Jagdpanther had been preceded by 2 attempts at mounting an 8.8 cm gun as a self-propelled anti-tank weapon. Ferdinand using the 91 leftover Porsche-built VK4501P chassis from the Tiger tank competition it had lost to Henschel in 1942, and the Nashorn using a Panzer III-4 chassis. Ferdinand proved to be too heavy and Nashorn small and underpowered. A heavy tank destroyer design based on the 8.8 cm PaK-43 gun in the Panther tank chassis was ordered in late 1942 as design SDKFZ-173. The prototype by MIAG was demonstrated in October 1943 before Hitler. Production started in January 1944. In February Hitler specified the simpler Jagdpanther name instead of its original 8.8 cm PaK-43/3 off Panzerjar Panther. To accommodate the heavier caliber gun, much as on previous Jagdpanzer-style and turreted tank destroyers, the glacis plate and sloped hull sides of the Jagdpanther were extended up into an integral, turretless fixed casemate as part of the main hull itself to provide a roomy interior. The Jagdpanther had side armor of increased thickness to offset the slightly reduced angle of the side armor necessary to provide enough interior space. Frontal armor was 80 mm. The new Panther AUSF-G had the same feature, to harmonize production and increase protection. It was armed with the same long-barreled 8.8 cm gun as the Tiger II King Tiger. The gun was mounted in a central mantlet which gave it a limited traverse of 11 degrees to each side. A single 7.92 mm G34 machine gun for local defense was in a ball mount right-hand side of the front glacis plate. The machine gunner was also the wireless operator. The driver sat on the left. The gunner had a rangefinder and a periscope telescopic sight. The periscope, linked to the gun mount, was under an armored housing on the roof. The Jagdpanther had a good power-to-weight ratio and a powerful main gun, which enabled it to destroy any type of Allied tank. Based on the existing Panther AUSF-G chassis, the vehicle did not suffer too many mechanical problems. It had an upgraded transmission, which had been planned for the Panther II, and final drive to counter the Panther's main weakness. It was manned by a crew of 5, a driver, radio operator, commander, gunner and a loader. 2 main variants can be distinguished, the earlier G1 with a small internally bolted main gun mantlet and a modified Panther A engine deck, and the later G2 with a larger simplified, outside bolted mantlet and a modified Panther G engine deck, though late G1s also had the larger mantlet. Early Jagdpanthers had 2 vision openings for the driver, whereas late versions had only 1. The main gun originally had a monoblock gun barrel but later versions were equipped with the PaK-43/4 gun with a 2-part barrel. The 2-part barrel was more economical as barrel wear was not even. Early G1s were given Zimerit anti-magnetic mine coating and a distinctive small squared pattern. Production and service: a total of 415 Jagdpanthers were produced from January 1944 by 3 manufacturers. MIAG produced 270 from January 1944 until the end of the war. Maschinenfabrik Niedersachsen Hanover produced 112 from November 1944. Maschinenbau und Bahnbedarf produced 37 vehicles from December 1944. Planned production had been 150 a month but the disruption to German manufacturing had made this impossible. Jagdpanthers equipped heavy anti-tank battalions and served mainly on the Eastern Front. In the West, they were first encountered in very small numbers late in the Battle of Normandy, where the German 654 Schwer Panzerjar 80 along deployed about 12 Jagdpanthers against British units. Later, Significant numbers were concentrated in the west for the Ardennes offensive. Survivors. 3 surviving Jagged Panthers have been restored to running condition. 2 German museums, the Deutsches Panzermuseum at Munster and the Wahrtechnische Studienzentrum at Koblenz, have 1 running Jagged Panther each. The SDKFZ Foundation in the UK has restored 1 Jagged Panther to running condition, using 2 wrecked Jagged Panthers to complete 1. The other wreck will also be restored. There are at present 7 other known surviving Jagged Panthers, which are on display at Bovington Tank Museum, Dorset, UK, one of a number assembled by British Army Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers for trials, late production model. Imperial War Museum, London, UK. Early production variant. This has 3 shot penetrations on the right side of the engine compartment while the left side has been sectioned and opened to public view. Kubinka Tank Museum, Moscow, Russia, Musa copyright E des Blinder copyright Essen Sorma, France, Senchim Auto and Technique Museum, Senchim, Germany, Panzermuseum Thun, Switzerland, United States Army Ordnance Museum, Aberdeen, USA. The Wheatcroft Collection in the UK owns a small collection of parts of Jagged Panthers and hopes to restore 1. Media appearances. The 1950 film They Were Not Divided features a Jagged Panther. One can be seen in It Happened Here, the HBO miniseries Band of Brothers, episodes Kentan, and replacements feature a replica Jagged Panther which had been built on a Soviet T-55 tank chassis. See also, Su-100, Notes. References, Spielberger, Walter, Panther and its Variants, 1993. ISBN 0-88740-397-2, Chris Ellis and Peter Chamberlain, AFV Profile No. 10, Panzerkampfwagen v Panther Profile Publications. External links, Jagged Panther. AFV Database. Archived from the original on December 28, 2012. Information about the Jagged Panther at Panzerworld, Achtung Panzer. Panther's Server Vorsa a PDF file presenting the Panther tanks still surviving.